is a trap.
What is up, guys? Alp27HD here. Wanted to bring you a little bit of a tutorial's the wrong word, but tips when using the helicopters. I'm going to do one on jets as well. Also going to do one on helicopter combat, etc. But this is really, if you ever started those matches, well, I'll show you what I mean in a minute. First and foremost, controls. Now, the controls that I use for helicopters are the veteran controls, default sticks, and the same for the jets, the veteran controls, default sticks, and vertical flight inverted. So they, guys, are the controls that I am using, obviously vehicle aim relative control on. They're the controls you want to be set up for this tutorial, guys. And before we go into it, test range is your friend. A lot of people ignore it, a lot of people think it's boring, but trust me, when learning to fly, learning to use weaponry in an environment where you're not getting the shit shot out of you, test range is your friend. It lets you try all the vehicles in the game, it lets you try out all the weapons as you wish, etc, etc. So what happens when you first load up test range is you'll see we're on this little island, and then it will start to populate with vehicles, as you can see there, and the helicopters have appeared along with the jets. So what you want to do is use the right stick from the B location, so move over to B, use your right stick and select the little bird. Click on that and away we start. Now, a lot of you will know pressing the R3 button or clicking the right button on the Xbox will take you in and out of your two views. So first and foremost, how familiar is this to people? The match starts, everyone piles into a helicopter, and some guy who doesn't know how to fly does this. He takes off, and you're thinking, move forward, fella, move forward, and then suddenly what he does is this. And he goes boom, and the fucking thing is done. And you're looking at it thinking, you wanker, why didn't you just let somebody get in a helicopter that can fly them? So this is your chance to get in a helicopter and learn to fly it. So we're going on the little bird. You've got your R2 and your L2, or your right and left trigger on Xbox. By holding down your right trigger, it will send the helicopter up. It increases the rotor speed, takes you up as high as you want, and obviously L2 brings you down. That is basically your up and down motion, and these are your throttle controls, so to speak. So obviously, if you move it up, let it go, the helicopter will hover. Using your left stick, you can spin the helicopter through 360 degrees on a sixpence, no problem at all. Just getting yourself used to the controls. Left stick turns the helicopter, and obviously we're just hovering there, no problems at all. Right stick controls your, I believe it's called yaw. It basically enables the helicopter to move sideways. It's almost like strafing in a single-person shooter, first-person shooter. However, when you do this kind of strafing move, it does lose altitude, so you do have to compensate it with your R2 just to keep the thing in the air, but no problem on that one. So they are your basic up and down movement. You've got your turn in the helicopter using the left stick, and backwards and forwards, and in order to move it sideways, you are using your right stick, which just moves it in that strafing pattern sideways, obviously keeping your height level. In order to make the helicopter move forward, the way I do it is I hold R2, so hold the right trigger and tip forward on the right stick, and that will essentially tilt the helicopter forward and make it move. I then use the left stick to turn the helicopter. So that's essentially all you were doing, is pointing it where you want to go, holding R2 and just controlling the angle at which you're moving forward, and then using the right trigger, just turn it. You'll have to do a bit of compensation using the right stick, but that is essentially how you move the aircraft. And then obviously once you are happy, get it into position and just bring it down. And obviously using L2 will bring it down to the bottom. So if you're starting off, let me just get it onto the ground. So you're starting off a match, you're in, fuck it, I will redeploy in one of those helicopters. So you're starting off a match, you're in what I like to call the cow, the big helicopter, the transport helicopter. And all we're going to do is we're going to take off and move our way across the map to the staging area. So we're going to hold our R2, we're going to move slightly with the left stick, changing our position, and we're going to tilt forward and just move over here. It may seem like boring exercises, guys, but these are the kind of things that you will need to do when capturing flags, etc. Just getting used to maneuvering the helicopter around. As you can see, using the right stick, you can turn ever so slightly, so you could essentially hover over a flag here. And then obviously back up, hold your R2, tilt forward on the right stick, just making minor adjustments with the left, and bring it back in, straighten it up, and plonk it down on the deck. That is your essential movement, guys. So if you want to move quickly, just give you a little bit of a demonstration. So you're straight up, starting off on the map, you want to go over and hover over a boat. So you're tilting forward, you're getting some forward motion, just controlling things slightly. You're coming up to the boat, so just lift off the controls, just gently controlling it, and then just come into a hover above the boat. You can have a look around, see what's going on. I always find that if you are trying to maneuver, don't use the inside view, use the outside view. And if you are trying to attack or you're in kind of combat mode, depending on which chopper you're using, then use the inside view. But get familiar initially with just moving the helicopter, tilt back a little bit on the right stick just to bring it into a hover, turn it round and plonk it down. Not too bad at all. And that is essentially it, guys. That is the end of this episode. Just tips, just little tips on how to maneuver the aircraft, how best in order to just move backwards and forwards. And obviously with a bit of practice, this will become a lot easier. In the next episode, we'll deal with combat, using the inside view, locking onto vehicles, etc. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, guys. If you have, please drop it a like, sub, comment, peace, love, and catch you later.